Oh, I wore the light yellow.
I have yellow on my rainbow.
You have yellow in your rainbow.
Yellow and Winnie the Pooh.
I love it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you've all been given the memo. Next week is green. Next week's heart chakra, green.
Heart is yam. No,
Yes,
yes.
yum. It looks like YAM, and it's pronounced with an so you're right.
Yum.
Yum, like yummy.
Then the one after that is ham, so you can have
It is ham.
ham
Yummy
yam.
Yummy ham. But you know what the third chakra is? This one's the easiest.
Yellow.
Rum. It's rum.
So they're all pronounced with U.
They're all pronounced with the U.
So it's rum, not ram.
Yeah, it's lum, fum, rum, yum, hum, om,
Oh.
and then nothing. White noise.
Okay.
White noise, yeah.
Um,
Rum, like Bacardi. No, just kidding. It's not like Bacardi. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do an extra mat for me to sit on. This is for the pelvis. Okay, chakra 3, located specifically in the solar plexus area. So this would be about 2 inches above the belly button. Usually we say chakra 3 is your stomach because from the solar plexus and the nerves in the spine, the bundles go out into the viscera, the organs, and then it drops down and goes into your stomach. So usually we say it's the stomach. This energy, the element is fire, so it's about asserting effort to create heat. Heat only happens with effort. I love your shirt, it says science. What is cold? The absence of heat. Everything is naturally cold. You have to assert effort to generate heat. In this element of heat, this fire element, is not only an element to create heat, it's an element of light. So the belief in yoga is that when you have a healthy spirit or aura, that this gold colored flame is like a bright light that it's illuminating and it pushes through all of these physical layers of consciousness so that it projects out onto this plane of consciousness the most authentic expression of your soul. So when people meet you, they meet your spirit. They don't meet the personality that is constructed or that has been created from past experiences or from self-esteem issues and insecurities and things of that nature. It's a very powerful transitional energy. So we're going to work on it today. And work is subjective. You don't have to do both. Okay. Do not have to do both. All right, let's start with the block between the knees and the thighs. Noticing if this creates comfort for the body at all. If it feels very uncomfortable, take the block out to any width where we're able to accommodate our own personal comfort in the body. We're rolling the shoulders back and down, reaching the pinky fingers down towards the edges of the heels behind you. As we inhale, let's breathe into the center of the chest. And then exhale, big exhale, and pull the stomach muscles in. Inhale, hard exhale. One more, inhale, hard exhale. Soften the knees, one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Let's soften the breath with 3-part breathing. Inhaling in through the nose, breathe down into the belly, through the ribs, up to the heart, and maybe lift the chin just a little bit. Exhale in any natural way. Relax the chin, the heart and ribs. Pull the belly button muscles in. The exhale is more important than the inhale. Inhaling belly, ribs, heart, open through the throat. Exhale, drop the chin, relax heart, ribs, and belly. Now keep this rhythm. There are no set repetitions of this breath. Rather, during the next quiet minute, tune into your own rhythm with the breath. Noticing as each moment passes, at what point do you feel completely satisfied with your breath? A bigger breath is not necessarily the better breath. We're working with the concept of brahmacharya, moderation in all things. Before we begin to really exert a lot of physical effort, being mindful about the right use of our energetic resources. How much breath, how much prana does this body really need to be satisfied, to feel content, to feel fueled? You're ready. Let's lower the hands down, softening through our knees. Chakra 3 is also an energy that regulates belief systems. If we tend to be very strict with ourselves, critical with ourselves, maybe we don't give ourselves enough grace or wiggle room or opportunity to do things and see things a different way. We want to soften the knees. As we increase circulation, we're able to also bend a little bit, bend to our will. Inhaling arms overhead. Exhaling palms forward and around. Keep that flowing motion. Keep going. I'm stepping away to turn off this fan because it kicks up a lot of dust in the room. And fans are never really recommended when you're doing yoga for breathing. Unless it smells really bad, it's really hot. Okay. Inhaling up. Add in a chair flow, sitting back, squeeze the yoga block, palms up. Inhale, rising up. Exhale down. Option to close the eyes. Tuning into the felt sense, noticing what parts of the body might be putting in the most effort today. Try to balance that through awareness. What parts of the body appear maybe to be witnessing rather than working? Noticing any parts of the body that are expressing pain or achiness. Send a healing breath to those spaces that are healing today. Those places in the body that are achy usually are asking to be left alone. Let's do a couple more. Inhale up. When we close the eyes, we might move a little slower. Perhaps with a little more awareness. Maybe just one more. Taking our time, we'll meet down in chair position. Not too low of a working chair. Let's place the hands on the thighs. If we're noticing that there's a lot of working going on in this pose, maybe just for today, come up and take some of the effort out of that posture. Let's move into a belly lock, Uddiyana Bandha. This is a technique used to flush out the digestive tract. It's also used to help to increase metabolism. Exhale all the way and lower your chin. Pause pause, squeeze the block. 1, 2, 3, surprise breath. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, relax. At least 2 or 3 easy breaths and flow it with cat and cow. Inhale, cow, push the hips back. Exhale, cat, roll the pelvis forward, tailbone down. Inhale back. Exhale forward. One more. Inhale and exhale, massaging that energy in the trunk of the body. Let's hold it back again into that expression of a conservative chair. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, lower the chin, squeeze the block, pause. 1, 2, 3, surprise, belly in and up. And hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Cat and cow, inhale and exhale. So while we're flowing through cat and cow, here are some things to think about next time we do the belly lock. Think about the expression on your face. I meant it in a good way. Notice that your face will become more animated because again, as this fires up the soul, it begins to stimulate the vagus nerve, which moves up into emotional centers of the brain where you can lift dopamine and you can lift serotonin. So it quite literally can be like a good hit of Zoloft, which is an antidepressant. There you go. All right. Or Xanax. All right, whatever. Or a shot of rum, whatever. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, chin down. Notice the expression on the face. Squeeze the block. 1, 2, 3. Eyebrows lifting. Exhale, relax. From here, let's walk the hands down towards the shins. Hands might stay pressing onto the shins while we straighten the arms to support and prop up the spine. Bend the knees as much as they want to bend to protect your low back, or begin to straighten the legs, maintaining a flat spine. Arms are straight, looking ahead. Inhale into the sides of your body, under the armpits. I know it sounds weird, but it's possible. Try to flare out your ribs under your armpits. Think about how a fish looks when it's filtering water through the side gills, and try to flare out your ribs like that. And then exhale, pull your ribs in. Bend the knees deep, hang loose like a rag doll. Shake the head yes, and turn the head left and right. Let's take our yoga block from between the knees and place it in the most upright position at the top edge of our mat. Hands to the shins. We'll walk the hands up to the thighs, bending the knees so that there's no pulling on the back. Reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Let's step our left foot back, a very casual stride. If you're used to taking a long stride back, just for today, practice just a little shorter of a stride. So from my back foot to my front foot, I may have the length of a dollar bill. That's it. Oh, or a $100 bill. There you go. The length of a $100 bill. There you go. Yes, manifest, right? From here, let's look at the back foot. If you have your toe turned out like me, lift the left heel, take it out to the side long edge, and then put the foot down so that both your feet are tracking straight ahead. Let's bend the right knee, holding in warrior one. Let's find all of those opposing energies that make it a hop-up posture. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pull the shoulders down. Lunge forward. Pull back. Big breath in. Bigger exhale. Big inhale. Let's play with a few other opposite energies. What does it feel like if we're holding on to 100 helium balloons in each hand? Inhale. And then what does it feel like if we're holding on to a 20-pound bowling ball? Hold it in between the two. Inhale and exhale. One more big breath. Exhale, swan dive. Both hands coming down onto the right leg. Let's move slow with this pose today as we're going to work with chakra 3 and a lot of spine mobility. Take the left hand and turn it onto your right thigh so that the fingertips are facing off to the right. Take the right hand, maybe bring it up just a little bit. Bend elbow so it doesn't pull the neck. Roll that elbow back and then bring it down and around. Let's make a few circles with that elbow. And as we circle back, inhale and exhale. Working on swiveling through the trunk of the body just a little bit. We're introducing the gentlest of a twist from the waist back and around. When you're ready, inhale into that upper right lung. Stay twisted towards the right. Extend that right arm out. Thumb is facing down. It's as if you're trying to smack someone away behind you. Bend at the elbow and bring the knuckles to the low back. As you inhale into the upper right lung, twist a little more. Inhale, pulling the right shoulder back, pressing the left shoulder over your right thigh. Notice if you feel like your hips are getting tight or locked up. If you're feeling pain in the back at all, we can always bend both knees. If you find that you're in a painful or sticky situation right now, and you're not making any changes or trying anything different to get out of it, maybe you do that in real life also. The way we do yoga is the way we do life. That's why it's so effective. I'm not calling anybody out on anything, okay? Yoga's like a fortune cookie, just so you know. I don't know anything about your personal lives. Anything, right here. Right shoulder, inhale, open, look over to the right. If you want, straighten the right leg. Both legs can be straight. You could have the left knee a little bent. You could have the right knee bent. You could have both knees bent. Any combination of bent or straight legs to create as much comfort in this twist as possible. If you want, on the next inhale, reach the right arm out and turn the palm up towards the sky. And then maybe on the next inhale, tap your shoulder, right fingertips to the right shoulder. And then maybe on the next inhale, right hand straight up towards the sky, holding on to 100 helium balloons. Continue to twist, look down at your right toe and bring the chin to the chest. Exhale all the way. 1, 2, 3, surprise. Twist a little more. There we go. So that little surprise breath is also used to scoop up your intestines. Bigger twist. When you're ready, slowly lower that top arm. Let's bring it around onto the front leg. Bending both knees, we'll step forward, touching the toes together, creating a little bit of space between the heels. To really get nitpicky with this pose, the edges of your feet are completely parallel to the edges of the mat. Inhaling both arms overhead, reaching up. Exhale, pull the thumbs down to the center of the chest. Let's press the hips back. It's chair pose with a narrow foundation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Let's keep the flow. And while we're flowing, let's explore why we have different foundations for chair. This foundation for chair is in preparation for another twist. We bring the feet close together. That way your femur bones, the largest bone in the body, will angle in. When we twist, hopefully this will create more mobility in your hip and low back and will prevent pinching any nerves. Exhale, hold it down this time. Hold it here. Before we go into the twist, I want to give everyone's body and brain a visual on what we don't want, because it could be injury. As we twist to the left, what will usually happen is your right knee will collapse and your left leg is gonna go back. So it looks like you're hitchhiking, right? No hitchhiking, Uber everywhere. All right, so as you twist, the focus is on pushing your right knee back, left hip forward, and then going to the twist. I know, it's so strange, right? The mechanics of it go against your body's natural pattern of movement. It's going against the path of least resistance. It's going against habitual movement. Exhale all the way, chin down, 1, 2, 3, surprise. Scoop up the belly, twist a little more, press the right knee back, twist towards the left knee a little bit forward, and maybe come down a little more. Remember to smile. Take your right hand onto your left thigh, left knuckles to the low back. Inhale into the upper left lung this time. Draw the left shoulder back and twist towards the left. Exhale all the way. If this feels like work, you're doing it right. If it doesn't feel like work, you're still doing it right. Inhale. Exhale. Come around to center, both hands on the thighs. If you felt it in your left hip, that's what we were aiming for, but you might have also felt it in your shoulders. Take the feet out, maybe use the block, forward fold, straighten the legs, and hang like a rag doll. We want to get as much traction through the spine as possible, coming out of those working postures. Again, use the exhale, big breath in, and bigger exhale. 2 more, inhale, relax the jaw. Unlock the jaw to unlock any blockages that may have developed in the low back. When you're ready, take a deeper bend into the knees. Push the tailbone back behind you from a flat back, reverse swan dive. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the chest. Take the feet out wide, toes out, heels in. Let's do a few moonflower flows. Reach it up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale down. Inhale, rise up. This time, press the palms. Sunflower flow. Sweep towards the floor or block. Inhale up. Exhale down. If the hands are crossing over, switch it out. So as you exhale, left arm over the right. Inhale up. Exhale, right arm over the left. Doing a couple more, monitoring your dominant arm, making sure that we're alternating what arm is in front. A little bit of brain work. When you're ready, inhale, come up, hold it in the 5-pointed star expression. Big breath. Exhale, drop the chin. Pause, 1, 2, 3, surprise breath. Hold it, 3, 2, 1, relax. Let the hands come down, shake it all off, and let's bring our feet into about the width of the pelvis bones. If you're noticing already any tenderness in your back, then keep the feet even a little more closer together for safety. Inhaling, both arms come up overhead. Stepping the right foot back for warrior 1. Bending the left knee, definitely bending the left knee. Taking a look at the distance on the feet. And again, I'm kind of making the length of a $100 bill from my toe to my heel. Lift the right heel. Angle both toes forward for anyone who can't see it. It's like I'm on a couple of 2x4s, right? I want my both feet to be directly forward, not out to the side at all. Having either both knees bent, one knee bent. Traditional expression of warrior 1 is left knee bent, right leg strength without locking out. Opposite energies, reaching up, pulling down, lunging forward, pressing back. There's also expansion and contraction energy. Inhale, flare out your ribs. Exhale, pull them in. Hold it there. Inhale, helium balloons, reach, lighten up. Exhale, holy ball. Squeeze it down, hold it there. One more big inhale. Exhale, swan diving, both hands down onto the left leg. Already, if there is some tightness in your left hip, you will notice that your right hip is a little bit back. If your right hip is pushing back a little bit, it's probably because there's tightness in the left hip. To work with that, bend the left knee more, bend the right knee, and now draw that right hip forward. So you're kind of like a T-Rex. Okay? There you go. All these technical anatomical teaching, and you go, be a T-Rex. You are like, yeah. Right. Like last week, it was like, drag your butt on the ground like a dog. Everybody was like, I know that movement. Okay. All right, so from here, again, noticing where the body is most comfortable, where is the alignment moving towards neutral. Right hand onto the left thigh, fingers facing the left. Left hand, take it out with the thumb down. Oh, actually, first, let's do some circles. We're taking it back and around. Left elbow back and around. So I have my elbow bent. I decided to do elbow circles today instead of a long arm, because I know that a lot of us have tightness in the neck and shoulder. And this is just a nice way to develop some trust with the body before we move into a bigger stretch. At some point, inhale, open, and then reach the arm out and hold it there just for a moment. So the body gets time to acclimate to the stretch. Breathe into the upper left lung. Exhale. Inhale, notice that there's a little more twist in it. Exhale. Turn the thumb down, inhale. Exhale, hand to the low back. And now inhale, a little bit more. Exhale all the way. Look down at the left foot. 1, 2, 3, surprise breath. And then twist a little more. Then release. The breath is probably going to be a little shallow, but that's okay because we know the bigger breath is not the better breath, right? Inhale, exhale. If you want, straighten the front leg or straighten both legs. This is a pose known as a revolving triangle. It's more fun to say. Inhale, drawing that left shoulder back again. Having the option to extend the arm like we're shaking hands. Maybe the palm up. Maybe straight up overhead, holding on to that bundle of helium balloons. Inhale, lightening up. The pose is very contracted. It's very tight to the core. That expansive element is with the inhale. Big breath. Exhale, slowly lower that heel. A little goes a long way with that one. Did anybody get a little warm on either side? I don't know if it's the heat kicked on or if it's the yoga, but from here, bend the front knee. Slowly come around to center. Both hands onto the front leg. Let's step it to center, touching our toes with a little bit of space between the heels. Both hands come onto the thighs. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms down to the center of the chest. Keep that rhythm a few more times. Option to close the eyes. And as the eyes close, maybe the body moves a little slower. Maybe it gets a little wobbly. It's interesting. Again, the way we do yoga is the way that we do life, and noticing how the body responds to different movements can really tell us a lot about ourselves as we bring the body into a more centered position, to a more introspective place. If you get more wobbly here, maybe it is time to go within. Maybe we found too much stability and too much balance with things way out there, right? Maybe. Again, it's like a fortune cookie. Let's hold it in the down position. When you're ready, slowly roll that right shoulder back. Okay, so before we do that big twist, notice what your left hip is doing. What most of our bodies will do is, as we twist to the right hip will twist, and this will twist your knee joints. This pose can really be detrimental to the knee joints. So, make sure my Zoom call is still on. All right. So as we twist to the right, push your left hip back. This is the movement. Some of you probably know this movement. It's like this. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Okay? That's the movement. So as you go this way, right? As you twist to the right, push your left hip back. That's the movement. I gotta tell y'all, the dances from like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, way better than the Macarena. Better than anything that we've had. Better than line dancing, right? From here, we can put the left hand on the right thigh, look down at the knees. If either one of those knees are jutting out, push the knee back. Knees stay flush. It's like you're trying to hold a credit card between your knees. You don't want it to slip out. Take the right hand to the low back. Twist a little more, but not too much. Look down at the floor. Exhale all the way. 1, 2, 3, surprise breath. Scoop it up and twist. Hold it there. Breathe into the upper right lung. Maybe get a little lower. Another little trick, if you want to try it, lift your heels. Just enough to put a credit card under the heel. Just enough to lighten up. Just make a little barrier between your foot and the mat. When you're ready, slowly both hands come around to the thighs. Separate the feet. Find the yoga block. Bring it in. Support the body. Hang loose with the head and neck. Shake it yes. Turn it left and right. Big exhale. Straighten the legs. 2 more big sighs of relief. Big inhale, bigger exhale. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, soften the knees. Slowly walk the hands to the thighs and gently bring the body all the way up to standing. Okay, shake it off. Our balancing pose today is not going to be done from standing. Our balancing posture today will be done on the floor. Gail.
Nothing I did earlier.
And not what I did earlier. No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, by all means,
I was gonna say, you have to call 911.
do it. Do it. Yeah, do it.
All
right. Inhaling arms up. You don't even have to call. You can say, hey, Siri. Exhale down. All right, so I'm using my yoga block to transition the body through a specific pattern. From here, if you want, step your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Sometimes this is really helpful. And if you want, bend your knee and lift your right heel a little bit. And then you might be able to kind of drop your chest and really push back into your hips. Bend the left knee a little bit, and now try to swing that right leg back. Then bend both knees and lower down. Sometimes the trick is just getting that leg back. You have to take it out, wing it out to the side, and make that a little circle. From here, let's bring the left foot down. Both feet go to one side, and use the hands to come back to seated. Let's extend the legs out in front of the body. And if you have a blanket or a large pillow, you can most certainly sit on it. I'm going to hold up the back of my mat a couple times. I'm not making a small perch. I'm making a pretty wide base of support. Again, we are going into a balancing pose. I know, they're like, what are we gonna do? He feels like, I already know what we're gonna do. I don't like it. Let's take the block between your knees and thighs. Pull the toes up and see that your ankles and feet are the same distance apart as the knees. If the feet are touching with the knees wide, that usually means there's not enough pelvic floor support. The muscles are not engaging in the pelvis. So it's very simple to get those muscles engaged, separate your feet. It's usually an issue more with women because our bones begin to angle that way at puberty, right? And yoga was mainly created for men, for young pubescent boys. Yeah. Yeah. Once upon a time, yoga, women weren't even allowed to practice yoga, right? Who do you think you are? Namaste. Okay. Inhale, lift your heart. Okay. Let's first just lift and lower, lift and lower. This is one really phenomenal way to work on the muscles that are deep all around the hip, preventing falls, helping to create a healthy gait, G-A-I-T. Lift, lower, lift, hold it up.
Nice. Wow.
Do you feel it? Right? You know what I love about yoga? You do not have to compromise like a lot of your comfort and safety by working on a bunch of machines. You just learn how to use your body to stay healthy, right? There's no way that any of us was made or has a maker that intended for it to be hard to take care of ourselves, right? All right, now if you want, hold it. So two different types of muscle groups. You have fast twitch, which means this is going to catch me when I fall. And then you have endurance, slow twitch, which is standing in line at Target in the summertime with ice cream, and then you realize you have to pee. So what are you gonna wait? You're fine at Target. You're not gonna walk away from your ice cream. Okay? Other leg. Heels down, sit tall, lower your chin, exhale all the way. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, surprise, lean back. 1, 2, 3, pick up your heels. See, told you you could do it. Told you you could do it. Smile. Now come down. Okay, let's try it again. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, surprise breath lift. And now if you want, one hand up. Do it. Look, it's okay. You'll just roll back. You're not going to fall. You're already on the floor. Other hand. Okay, except for y'all. Don't roll back into the chair.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hands down. Let's work on it. Hands behind the thighs. Okay. Sometimes it's very hard because it's new. When's the last time you did this? Like, never, lady.
Never.
Never, lady. When I was 2. All right. So sometimes it's hard because it's repaving the neurological connection. It's the mechanics of it. Everyone in here is strong enough to do this, okay? Don't look at the clock. I saw y'all. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, chin down. Squeeze your block. 1, 2, 3, surprise, rock back. And hold on. Hold on to your body for dear life. Inhale into your chest. Pull your shoulders down. Act surprised. 1, 2, 3. Ice down the back of the shirt. 1, 2, 3. Eyebrows up. Just makes you look good. And now down. Thoughts to the side. I knew you could do it. You it. All right, feet together, knees out, butterfly, inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. Hold it here. It's interesting, this is called butterfly pose because it looks like butterfly wings. The literal translation of this pose from Sanskrit to English is actually the cobbler pose, not peach cobbler. I know we're from the South. It's a pose that has taken its shape from the streets of India, where you would see cobblers sitting like this, putting a shoe into this spot, repairing shoes. That's where the pose comes from. It's not butterfly. Isn't that neat? Inhale, breathe into the back of your heart. And then exhale, relax the jaw and let the body fold forward a little more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Sometimes this pose is uncomfortable, especially for men, because of the angle on the bones of the hips. You can take your feet out because men usually have broader hips with a different angle on the bone. You can separate your feet and have them out a little more. Inhale, lift, and exhale, relax. Inhale, lift, exhale, soften. One more. Inhale, lift, and exhale, relax. Keep the head down. Let's walk the hands in. From here, slowly bring the knees up, bring the feet in. If we're seated on any sort of prop, let's come onto a flat floor. Props are out of the way or off to the side. Let the knees sway left and right. You gotta hurry up and relax. Hurry up. Okay, let the knees go to one side and walk your hands down towards the floor. From side lying, we can roll over onto our backs, keeping the knees bent. The hands might go on the belly or off to the side. This is known as constructive resting pose. Constructive resting pose. If you want, bring the left knee in towards the chest and then the right. Hold on to the sides or backs of the thighs. Point the toes. With the toes pointed, extend one leg at a time towards the ceiling. Push through the heels. Point the toes. Let's work with that stretch around the ankles a few times. Then work the ankles into some circles. If there's any one pose that I recommend or that I prescribe, I use for myself, it is this, legs up the wall, working with circulation. Next pose is happy baby. From here, if you take your feet out just wider than the hips, you can push through your heels like you're standing on the ceiling. Hands are on the outsides of the thighs or behind the thighs. Start bending the knees down towards your armpits. If you want, reach up and hold on to your toes, just like a happy baby. It is common in classes to see people rocking side to side. That is always an option. Here are some things to be mindful of. If we know that there is existing osteoporosis, osteopenia, any type of fractures in your shoulders, your spine, or hips, maybe hold still in the pose. This way the body can work on weight bearing to develop bone density rather than moving around, which can create a stress fracture in the bone. Stillness is usually safer than movement right here in this pose. Relax the jaw. And notice when you exhale with the jaw relaxed, if the knees will pull down just a little more. At some point, release any tension on the legs, straighten the legs, roll out the ankles, and just kind of pedal the feet a little bit again, pedal through the knees. At some point, let the feet come down to the floor and take them into a gentle sway. Allow the body to move in any natural way, finding some position for final relaxation. I'm staying respectful of the time, and some of you have a schedule that's pretty tight, so we have about 3 minutes before we hit that 10:15 mark, but I am gonna go over 5 minutes today so that we're able to get in a little longer relaxation. But if you know at this time that you're on a tight schedule, you might want to go ahead and start preparing to sit up and pack up a little bit. Working with chakra 3, Manipura, the place of jewels. Begin to see that there is this beautiful gold energy, an orb of light below the left foot. It's coming up from the earth, hovering below the left foot. Continue to breathe easy and witness, feel, sense the presence of a warm gold light absorbed by the left foot, moving up the left leg to the left hip. It jumps across your belly button to your right shoulder, moving down the right arm and out the palm of the right hand. Sensing the presence, maybe even seeing this gold energy moving up, hovering below the sole of the left foot. Keeping the breath soft and fluid, our body absorbs this gold light, moving it over the left leg to the left hip, at which point it jumps across to the right shoulder, moving down the arm, out the palm of the right hand. You might continue to work with the visualization of this, or shift to a little bit of sound therapy. Inhaling, breathe in, hearing the sound of. As we exhale, there's a voice from within. We do not have to make an audible sound. Hearing the sound, ooh, leaving from the body. Inhale, ah, exhale, ooh. Check in with the body, noticing what part may be inspired to move by the next breath. Little toes, little fingers. Depending on where the body is, we may be moving in different ways to eventually make our way to seated. You can bend the knees slowly and let them sway. Even hug the knees to the chest. Carefully roll to one side. Take a couple breaths there. Then make your way up to easy seated. Our mudra hand gesture for chakra 3. We take the middle fingers together and they represent links in a chain. Lower the hands down in front of the belly button or maybe a little higher, solar plexus. Relax the shoulders. Pull on the middle fingers. Chin is down. Exhale all the way. Pause, navel in and up. Hold the contraction. Release. Relax the hands. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, soften. If you want, flow the arms with this. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, back and around. 2 more. The visualization is that there's like gold fairy dust on your fingertips. So every time you inhale, it's sprinkle it all around you. 1 more. Palms to the heart. Final closing gesture. We can draw in a deep unifying breath together and exhale from the throat. The affirmation used to work with the psychology of this pose is, or of this chakra is, I am open. I am open. And you get to customize it. What might we be more open to? Open to new ways of living, open to seeing the world in a different way, open to seeing a person in a different way, open to letting go of expectations, competition, and judgment. What might we open ourselves up to? I am open. From here, we can bow together in closing. Namaste. Did it. 20 after on the dot. Better at the time management thing. Oh, good.
They always do that.
Y'all have an amazing day. Stay warm.
Thank you.